Thank you, Pastor Young. Well, good morning. Again, I want to welcome everybody. I thank you for being here. We started this Politics in the Pews project about a year ago, fall of 2023, and it began kind of in an editor's call. Someone pitched a story, I believe it may have been Sam, talking about ballot collection efforts, what churches were doing as far as that is concerned. And Gina Gleason's going to tell us a little bit more about that as well too. But we wanted to explore that. What does that look like? Churches gathering ballots what does it mean to engage with politically that way? The intersection of ministry and politics, if you will. And it's grown since then exponentially. It's become a conversation as the election cycle has turned, as we all have seen, and grown and increased in all sorts of ways. And so what we're finding is that we started out just wanting to make sure that churches were wanted to see what churches were doing to protect election integrity, to ensure voters, and specifically Christian voters, could be confident that their votes were being counted. And here we are a year later, and the project's just grown in such great ways. I've had the privilege of connecting with some of the most important voices in the church as far as political matters are concerned. And it's been just awesome to be able to share these conversations through our podcast series, Politics in the Pews, and then gathering here with you guys today. I want to say that we've all heard the old saying, you never discuss politics and religion, right, in polite company. But you may not be as familiar with this quote from GK Chesterton, the English author and Christian apologist, who said, quote, "I never discuss anything else except politics and religion. There's nothing else to discuss." And I love that. That's the heart behind this series. We get into church small talk is so natural for us, right? But really, there's nothing else to talk about but Jesus and what is going on in our country. And so when it comes down to it, politics and religion are really just a list or an inventory of that which honors God and that which he loves, and those things which dishonor God and those things he hates. And I came to faith in Christ relatively late in life. One thing I learned quickly from reading the scriptures and from reading great Christian thinkers like GK Chesterton is this. It's never hatred to speak out against things that God hates. And there's nothing more loving as followers of Jesus than for us to speak that truth in love. And I think that's an important sentiment to take forward as we get into what could be a really nasty election cycle. I think that's important for us to remember. The truth is, most of us don't even know what our own pastors believe. A 2021 survey, a Pew survey, found that nearly half of all Christians in America are unaware of the political views of their pastors. These things, as James wrote, should not be so. So this morning we're going to be discussing a few things: election integrity, ballot collection in the church, this conversation around Christian nationalism, and religious liberty as we continue to draw closer to Election Day and beyond. There's a lot going on as we approach the fall. We're 60 days out, something like that, and we don't pretend that we're going to be able to cover everything today here. But I think our heart is, I think I speak for our staff and leadership at the Christian Post when I say that our prayer for this event is that you leave here more encouraged about our identity in Christ, the hope and the future we have in him, and that our faith that he's sovereign over the affairs of both church and state. And so with that, I'd